Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you, Ibrahim?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good, I'm fine. So, Ibrahim, today we're going to talk about the role of youth in driving change and championing sustainable practices. So, we have two more guests with us today. So, I have Sayyida Laiba Fatma and Sayyida Alisha Zahra. So Ibrahim is from LAMS. He's majoring in law with minor in philosophy, and he's the president of Riayat Society. Ibrahim, this sounds very unfamiliar. Can you please tell us something about the society, the Riayat, and what is the idea behind this?
Okay. Sure thing. Sure thing. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, you are.
Okay, yeah. So RIOT is essentially a community service society which is focused on urban planning equity. Now, urban planning equity, what I mean by that is we focus primarily on intra-urban inequalities. So essentially inequalities which exist within urban communities between, let's just say, areas like um, relatively elite and posh areas and adjacent to slums. So our main focus is to empower the communities which live within those underprivileged communities within the urban landscape, essentially. And we do that through different domains, through education, through women empowerment, through youth empowerment, by working in the sector of health, and yeah, essentially that, just to give you a brief overview of what the society does.
All right. So next, I would like you, Laiba, to introduce yourself. Laiba is a chemical engineer and president of American Institute of Chemical Engineering (UET), and she is driving sustainability through projects like bioelectric and raising awareness about energy and water challenges in Pakistan. First of all, I would like to welcome you, Laiba. How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. Bismillah Rahman Rahim, starting with the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most beneficent. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Saida Laiba Fatima from UT Lahore New Campus, and I'm the final year chemical engineering student and also serving as the president of American Institute of Chemical Engineering. And it's the chapter of UT Lahore New Campus, and along with them, that I'm also working as the sustainability ambassador and also worked in the WWF as well. So when we talk about Aichi is basically a platform that is one of the chapter of an international Aichi chapter. It's all about sustainability. It's all about the sustainable development goals. And how it is implemented as a chemical engineer. For example, as when I talk about myself, I'm working on different projects that are related to the sustainability. For example, currently we are working on the waste management systems. We are working on a fuel cells and how we promote uh, sustainability and sustainable practices through these conferences and projects and opportunities to the students. We are basically the opportunity provider to the youth, and how they came up with the new ideas. We're going to promote them and showcase to the world. That's the basic objective of our society, and we were still working for that.
Okay, moving towards Alicia. Alicia is from Lahore School of Economics. She is doing double majoring in marketing and finance, and she's the president of Environment Conservation Society, and she's leading initiatives that inspires communities to embrace eco-friendly practices. Hello, Alicia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Anisha, please tell us something about the society that you're leading and what is it all about?
Okay, so basically, I'm the president of Environment Conservation Society at Lahore School of Economics, and the name is very self-explanatory by itself. So basically, the society is all about sustainability and environmental practices on the campus and around the campus. So we are very focused on awareness and including youth in adopting a sustainable lifestyle. So for that, we conduct workshops, we conduct plantation drives, we conduct sustainability drives. I think Samiha is not in the meeting right now.
I think she's left due to
Hello.
some.
I think she might be
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
not.
internet issues.
yeah. Let's just wait for her.
So
She's back.
All right, guys, that was very unfortunate. I don't know what
Alhamdulillah.
happened.
Not at all.
Were you guys worried?
No.
Yeah, we were like, where are we? So I
Okay,
was talking about the. I hope everything's fine at your end.
everything was fine, but I don't know. Okay, all of a sudden, what happened? I think it's just a connectivity issue or something because although I have very stable internet, but I don't know what happened.
It's okay, happens. Okay, so I was talking about what my society basically does is creating awareness and initiating and having workshops that include student body and the youth around the university as well. Because, for example, we have plantation drives at farms, we have plant adoption drives, we have sustainability workshops, events like that make students understand that adopting a sustainable lifestyle is really important and is very urgent. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's all.
So as you already mentioned about the initiatives that you're doing, so I would like to start with you. Like, what do you think is the most powerful way youth can contribute to sustainability efforts today, and how can you think, especially youth, if we talk about youth, they can contribute to such initiatives, and what kind of work they should do, and they if they are already doing it, then हम उसको किस तरह से enhance कर सकते हैं, and what is your perspective?
I think youth nowadays has the most power among the entire population. They have the power of voice, they have the power of resources, they have the power of technology. So I think two of the most important things that they can do and they should do is, first of all, they should adopt sustainability in their everyday lifestyle. They should not
Hmm.
like ignore their little things, saying that, oh, it's just nothing. But adopting a certain lifestyle is really important, and then going out and collaborating with local communities and NGOs, local organizations that support these motives, and then raising a platform that provides opportunities to other people as well. Other people who are very environmental conscious nowadays, they should collaborate with these local organizations that provide resources, and in collaboration with them, they should have initiatives like I talked about the plantation drives and the waste management drives. All of these things come together, and all of these things are very accessible to youth specifically. And
So, Ibrahim,
above
what do you
above
think
all
of
of that,
how
above all
can
of that,
university? All right.
I
So,
don't.
Ibrahim, what do you think? How can universities empower students so they can lead such kind of initiatives, and how can they support them?
Okay, so firstly, I'd like to say that it starts off by realizing why is it even important in the first place. So why do one want to adopt sustainability practices, right? Starts off by cultivating interest, by cultivating some conscience as to its importance in the long run. What is sustainability about? It's about protecting not just the present, but the future as well.
Future, definitely.
Self Being selfless is important here, and only after that, okay, so there's multiple ways you can go about doing that. One of the ways through which universities empower students to adopt sustainability practices is through societies, as our universities have provided us with a platform which we can essentially capitalize to work through that and make essentially creating a community of people who are interested in that kind of work. If I talk about my own society, Riayat, Okay, so LUMS has provided us with this platform. Okay, and through that platform, okay, so we have a community of people who are interested in that kind of work. Okay, so there's multiple people who are designated for different kind of work. Some of them, okay, so for instance, if I talk about some of my projects, there's a project on which we are currently working. It's called Project Urban Inclusive. Now, that project is about environmental sustainability. Sustainability comes in different forms. I'm sure we
Of
realize
course,
that.
yes, yes, it will.
And
Yeah.
environmental sustainability, in which what we're going to be doing is that we'll be focusing on how to, as I said before as well, our focus is on slums. And so the distinction between slums and relatively elite areas, there's a major difference that we see there. How do we go about empowering those communities and teaching the people living within those communities as to the importance of sustainable environmentally sustainable practices, right? There's plastic pollution, there's waste management, there's a lot of stuff going on. And okay, so that's one of the ways through which our universities have provided us with ways to cater to this problem. And and yeah, so I think that that's a really useful and powerful tool, but that can only come about once there's a proper mobilization, right?
So, Ibrahim, if you talk about the society riot, so do you think that you need any kind of support from the universities, or if they're like already providing you any kind of support, because this is a huge project? That's what I'm
Right,
assuming. So, what kind
right.
of support do you need from your respective university, and what are the challenges that you're facing?
Right. So, okay, so here's how societies at LUMS work. We have an office, we have a co curricular office, Office of Co curricular
Hmm.
Affairs. So, that office provides us with expert guidance, support in terms of administrative and logistical matters. Of
That's
course,
good.
there's people,
That's good.
right. But at the same time, because they want us to get on our feet and to really empower and precipitate change on our own, we are by ourselves go out, seek collaborations with NGOs, seek funding, because of course it's a financially, what do you say, um, difficult project as well. I mean, there's a lot of financial capital that you require as well if you want to impact change on such a massive scale. So we go about doing that, and that really, makes us independent. That really helps us in that regard. So there's a balance going on. The university doesn't provide us with everything, but it does show us the right. Uh, it does essentially nudge us in the right direction, if that's how I should phrase it. Yeah.
All right. So, Laima, I would like you to please explain why is it critical for youth to take leadership role if we talk about their role in shaping sustainable practices and solutions within our community.
Okay, so whenever we're talking about the youth, we have to get the concept of that what age group we are considering a youth. Like
Okay.
according to the report of the Commonwealth, they're stating that 60% of the global population is youth. So the youth have the demographic strength, and I think so that if they have a demographic advantage, that's why they must be considered as a leaders as well. So a leader can constitute some sort of an attributes, for example, like adaptability to the technologies. For example, we are launching some new applications for the waste management systems, and that is something like technology is shaping the future, and that is only possible when new leaders, the youth leaders, will come in front. And the secondly is the future like stakeholders. The leadership ensures a focus on like long term solutions rather than a short term gains. For example, if we are using I'll just give you an example of a battery versus a fuel cell. A lot of people are using batteries, but that they're taking it a short term advantage, like the cost is less, and they're not going towards the hydrogen fuel cells and something like that. So that is something that is cost efficient, and something that they can take a leadership in that as well. Another thing, another perspective is like bringing the innovation and the behavioral change. They have the sense of like how to change the world. For example, some of I still remember that some of the innovations are done by the youth. For example,
Hmm.
Fridays for Future, if you remember about this. So these are some initiatives that are done by the youth. When I talk about my society, it promotes the entrepreneurship in the sense like our students, our chemical engineers are making some new products, a sustainable products. For example, if you use a sugar cane, you can do the valorization in the sense, for example, the sugar cane, we have the very less cost, but when we valorize it and make an ethanol through it, so it is something that is a cost, जिसकी हम enhance कर सकते हैं cost, और
Definitely.
एग्जैक्टली दैट इज समथिंग जो कि हमें यूथ को एज एन लीडर्स हम उनको लेके आगे हम चल सकते हैं. दैट इज समथिंग.
So, as we all are witnessing that you all three are from different universities leading your respective societies, so how can you guys think that different societies can collaborate with each other to amplify the efforts? If any one of you can volunteer to answer the question. Alicia, you would you like to say something on this?
Sure. You see, Samiha, we all are from different universities. We all
Yes.
are part of different societies, but somehow the goal is shared. We all have a shared goal. We all have shared
That's what I'm
objectives that we aim to achieve. So we can obviously collaborate on that goal, and we can initiate an event with with objectives that satisfy the objectives of all of the three societies, and that is also very beneficial because it creates a voice that is very high, and it creates a platform that is audible to even people at higher levels of the country. So I think that is a very great idea to collaborate with different universities and with different societies.
Laima, would you like to add on something? Because your society is kind of little bit technical. So, do you need any kind of support? And if you're looking for any kind of collaboration from other universities and societies, so what are those specific aspects and what are you looking for?
Exactly. The collaborations are the most important one, and afterwards there are the fundings for some sort of a project. Like I still remember that the capstone organized by the PEC and some other societies, like they give some sort of a fundings for the projects. Like we're creating some sort of a plastic. We are utilizing the plastic and creating some sort of a bags by recycling them. So we'll present these projects to the capstones at different universities, and they're gonna sponsor that projects, and they provide some sort of funding. That is something that can also contribute to the in the collaborations within the administration as well, and it could also play a better role in driving the change as well, in my perspective.
All right. So, Ibrahim, if we relate this with the administration, like the collaboration between university societies and with the administrations to create more sustainable campus environments, so how can it be possible?
I mean, okay, so it starts off by, okay, so you have to do research about it, right? What are some of the most feasible initiatives that you can take on campus? I mean, I think it was Alicia who talked about plantation drives. So that, I mean, for starters, that is something you can definitely bring about through dialogue with the administration. Okay, we should be planting more trees, and for instance, plastic, right? That is something that we need to ensure that it's being taken care of. And apart from that, I mean, yeah. So the administration, as far as I'm concerned, um, as long as you have a really coherent and solid proposal and plan in mind, a well researched plan, you can definitely bring about change, and the administration will most certainly be willing to hear that. As far as my university is concerned, LUMS is always receptive to such ideas from its students, and we have um, brought about multiple initiatives that have proven to be really useful to the community at large and even outside as well. So I don't think it's really that big of a problem. You just need to be very consistent about it.
All right. So, Alicia, because this is the era of digital, platforms, and everything is on digital platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. So, using digital platforms and social media for raising awareness and like being an influencer, if you want to use such kinds of platforms, so how do you think like it can help spread more awareness about the sustainability and the efforts that you guys are doing?
I think it's a very, very powerful tool. There is this recent type of marketing which is called meme marketing. So you can, the concept is like injecting your idea or your product into the viewer's mind in a very
Right.
subtle way. Like the viewer doesn't even know that he or she is buying a product and you are selling it and selling it good. So I think through this concept and through the use of influencers, because influencers have this lifestyle and people who look out for those influencers, they want to have that lifestyle too. So using meme marketing and using influencers to promote your sustainability efforts and your sustainability initiatives is I think a very good grounds and very provides you very much power to reach to a wider audience and create awareness, because I think whatever we're discussing, the first and above all of this is that creating awareness, because awareness is like, it's not even in youth, even youth needs awareness. Like Ibrahim talked about the importance of understanding sustainability. Like, why do we need it? It's related to creating awareness. So, using these platforms to first create awareness and then inducing the sustainability lifestyle, I think it's very important and it's going to be very beneficial for us in the future as well.
So Ibrahim, how can we create a culture and like through activities and through events and maybe through peer education? So do you have any kind of ideas in your mind because you're young, and you have enthusiasm, you have that kind of spark in yourself. So have you thought about this, or in your future, may do you have any kind of plans?
Clarence, could you elaborate on your question in terms of ideas
So,
related
like if
to?
we talk about the universities, societies to promote a culture of sustainability, so
Right.
how do you think it can happen through events, through peer education, and through different kind of activities?
Okay. Um, there's multiple ways I think you can go about doing that. Firstly, again, as Alicia also mentioned, you cannot impose. I mean, this is not something that you can impose on the youth, right? The youth
Okay, so
really
let me
needs
just
to
give you an
be
example. Like, if we
right,
talk about the private sector, like DSG,
right,
because you've been connected with us through Green Leaders program that DSG Energy is
right,
doing. So this is one sort of an initiative that DSG has taken to include like and to promote sustainability and to give the opportunity to the youth to lead these initiatives. So
right,
like such kinds of initiatives is very much needed at this particular time.
right,
So,
right,
like
right, for sure.
being a president of a society, do you think universities, societies, and on campus, you should also do such kinds of initiatives? You can take steps for this
For
purpose.
sure, for sure, for sure. As I mentioned earlier as well, some of the projects that we're planning to do in the coming semester, including the project Urban Inclusive, that's exactly what that project would be about. So, as I said, the project addresses waste management issues, okay, so there's this area near Lums, it's called Bhatta Chowk. So, that's
Okay.
going to be our primary area of execution essentially. So we'll be conducting field visits, we'll be conducting surveys. And also, okay, here's the thing, the students that we have within the who are leading that project, are students who just who just got inducted into LUMS. So they're really passionate about that kind of work, and they're really interested in interacting with students within living within those areas, uh, teaching them about how sustainability is important and what kind of practices they should be doing. And apart from that, it's important, it's interesting in the sense that you get to interact with the authorities that are supposed to be doing this kind of work, such as LDA, Lahore Development Authority, and all of
Mhm.
these organizations that are, of course, supposed to be doing this kind of work. And you get, it's more about understanding uh, perspectives, right?
Perspectives, yeah.
Right. So it at least offers you a perspective shift. If LDA is doing something, and if that's not working, why is it the way that it is? And 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 how can I do something that could be different and that could be more, that could contribute more? Uh, so yeah, there's that project, and then we have another project which is more about academic awareness. It's called Project Funkari. So the focus of that project would be to raise academic awareness regarding urban planning equity, regarding sustainability, environmental sustainability, being one of the forms in which we are supposed to be doing podcasts. So see, this kind of work, students are interested in that. Uh,
Interested, yeah.
Interested, right? Getting to sit with an expert and talk to him about him or her about sustainability, let's just say,
Humanity.
and getting their perspectives. So I think it needs to be a conglomeration of different things which students are at least attracted to. Okay, so there's the podcast thing, which students can find interesting, the culture of podcasts and all of that, and essentially conflating that with the main goal at hand, which is, of course, promoting sustainable practices. You see where I'm getting at? So it needs to
Yes, yes,
be, yeah. So they need to be, it needs to be a mixture of certain attractive elements,
of
which
course.
could, yeah, right?
All right. So I think it's easier to work with like-minded people, but
Right.
not everyone think the way we are thinking. So Laiba, how do you handle such kinds of resistance from people who may not see sustainability as an immediate priority? So I know that it's really it's early for you to answer this question because you're young yourself, and but still, being a leader, being a president of the respective society, um, do you meet any kind of people who are not like really into such kinds of initiatives, and do you face such kind of resistance from people?
Yeah, it do happen, but of course there always be the resistance whenever you are talking about, you are giving those people about awareness. Of course, we're doing some sort of workshops, we're doing seminars, but some students just came in the workshop seminar and just attend and don't even
Hmm.
get the concept
For the
what we're
sake of
talking
certificate,
about.
maybe.
Exactly, just they just came for the certificate and just go back. That is something we are working on, and we're trying to find out why the people are not. For example, let me tell you about the example of the waste management. We're just guiding the people about the waste sorting, like how to sort out the waste in the, like, foreign countries. There is the waste sorting system, and we are now developing that you have to separate it, like plastic bottles, the glass waste, and how to separate it out.
Hmm.
So that is something that is not common in the Pakistani culture, we can say it. And we are developing some sort of an ML systems through it. Our projects are to be on these kind of topics, like how to do that kind of the waste sorting, and how it gets the attractive when we use the ML machine learning tools. People are interesting to know that how we can do this through machine learning, through AI. That is something we are making it through the, we can say, the gamification or something like that. So that is something we are trying to make people, to convince them
That's
to come
inspiring, Laiba.
towards the
That's really good.
sustainability.
So, my final question is for you all. What does a sustainable future look like to you guys, and how can we inspire future generations of students to continue the work that you guys are already doing? And how can we start today in promoting sustainability? And how can we just, you have to get along with different kind of people, and there are some kinds of barriers, obstacles as well. So, the final verdict from you guys, starting from you, Alicia.
Okay, so say so. But I think what both of these Ibrahim and Laba have said, that engagement is really important. Creating content of awareness that is engaging for the youth is really important. So yes, if we, the first step is like creating awareness, create awareness through engaging activities, through engaging content, and then um, motivate them enough to include that sustainability lifestyle into their everyday
You
lives
just
is
make
really
it
important.
very precise and very clear. Alicia, I just want to make it very clear and very precise. If you want to say something to Alicia, 5 years younger Alicia, what do you want to say to her? Who is going to be the leader of a future generation? So, what do you have to say to her?
I I would say that think first of all before you do anything. Think about it. Don't just follow another people
That's
advices.
positive.
And yes, and just know that you are young, and your future after 10 years or 20 years is at stake. The older people have lived their life, the younger people have a lot to come. You are in the middle of your life, and your future is at stake. So
And you
take
have to take
steps,
control of
take
your future.
initiative. Yes, you have to take control, and you have to advocate your control and advocate other people that they need to take control. And most importantly, what to the resistance, I would like to say that focusing yourself to people who are resistant to this is like you shouldn't be really focused on that. What you should be focused is you are gathering all of the people who have this urge to live a sustainable life. You gather all of them, you create a platform, you have a higher voice, you have
Correct.
support, you have solid um, reasons to support your stance. That's how you build a future.
Very well said. Ibrahim, your message for 5 years younger Ibrahim.
No, I'm just reminded of something that Dostoevsky said. Is a Russian writer. He said, "You're responsible not just for everything that you do, but you're responsible for everything that everyone around you also does." First off, okay, so I mean, for for the Ibrahim who okay, so for my younger self, I would say that, okay, so develop some compassion and do not just get into things just for the sake of getting into them. Only if you're truly interested in the work, get into it. And if you're not, just don't. Laiba also talked about it, and I feel like the greatest form of resistance is indifference. If you're indifferent to the work that you're doing, and if you're just doing it, and that is something that I feel like that's a major affliction for most of the youth these days, that we get into this kind of work purely because, okay, so we want to increase our future prospects in whatever way you can think of it. I mean, it shouldn't be like that. This is our world. We belong to this world. And down the line, I think, we will be living in this world. I don't think we'll be shifting to Mars anytime soon. So, yeah, we need to do something about it. And it starts off by, I mean, transcending the game of optics and just building compassion for the world,
For
for
the
the
world.
people around
Very
you, and for the world itself. Yeah, I think.
Very well said, Ibrahim. Last but not the least, Laiba, we also want to hear from you as well.
Okay, so I think so the most important thing we must have to do is the research, that what we are doing is why is most important, like why we are doing that. So that's gonna influence the world in in positive sense as well, in the negative sense as well. So that is the most important thing, because the adaptability is very easy when you are young, towards technology, towards sustainability, anything. That's all for my side.
All right. So, as we come to the end of this insightful session, I really want to express my heartfelt gratitude to our incredible guest participants, Mohammed Ibrahim, Sayed Alaiba Fatma, and Alicia, for sharing their journeys and inspiring us with their dedication in driving
Thank you
change
so
in
much.
championing sustainable practices. So, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for taking time out for this session
Thank you.
and for sharing um, your perspectives and everything. Thank you so much.
Love.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Thank
you for
ma'am.
you.
having
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
And to our audience, thank you for being a part of this discussion. Remember, each one of us has a role to play in building sustainable world. So let's just take inspiration from these young leaders and act with purpose and determination. So this is Samiha Yunus signing off. I will see you guys, inshallah, next week with another exciting episode of DSG Webinar 4.0. Till then, take great care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.